You see this? Do you see this? I'm not John Cena, but man, I gotta hide my face now. We're back! Welcome back to the channel. And a 5-star performance. That's right. Eintracht Frankfurt 1, Liverpool 5. Finally, after 4 straight losses in all competitions, losing to Crystal Palace, Galatasaray, Chelsea, and even Manchester United at Anfield, Arne Slot decided to turn the ship around northwards, if you know what, with reference to Ted Lasso, obviously. In a 5-star performance, 5 goals in the space of, I think it was 35 minutes on either side of the game, on either half of the game. Let's start off with the starting 11. Obviously, Mamardashvili was in goal, Van Dijk and Konate, the usual centre-backs. But at left-back, it was Andrew Robertson instead of Milos Kerkez. And at right-back, it was Jeremy Frimpong. Liverpool fans have been clamoring for Robertson to start, for Frimpong to start. Finally, we got it. And then, because Gravenberch was injured because of his ankle, the ankle injury suffered at the game against Man United, he was not. He did not feature in the game. McAllister was on the bench, so it was Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai, flanked by Cody Gakpo and Florian Wirtz, and a 2-striker partnership of Hugo Ekitike and Alexander Isak. So for the first time, I think the first time this season, Arne Slot decided to field his 3 big signing attackers: Florian Wirtz, Alexander Isak, Hugo Ekitike. But the formation was the one that really caught my attention, because instead of a usual 4-2-3-1, he went with 4-4-2, with Gakpo on the left, Jones and Szoboszlai as your pivots, and Florian Wirtz on the right. And then just so that you could accommodate the strike partnership of Alexander Isak and Hugo Ekitike. And to be honest, because I'll get to Isak in a minute, because he only played one half. But Isak, Ekitike, I didn't really see much of a strike partnership, but I do see moments of brilliance from Isak, from Ekitike, from Wirtz. I think Isak could have put us up 1-0 or maybe even 2-0 before Eintracht Frankfurt scored first. I think if Isak, it's not that Isak was not clinical, because his shots were on target, but I think if he could put more power into his shots, I think he'll be all right. But in spite of the relentless attack in the first 30 minutes, it was Eintracht Frankfurt who scored first. A counter-attack, Christensen, I think he meant, I'm not sure whether he meant to pass or not, but he shot from the side, and it was in off the post. Mamardashvili couldn't do anything about it, despite trying his best to dive, to block the shot, but nah, it went in. And you think at a point in time, oh shit, because we lost 4 in a row already, you would think, oh man, this is going to be another one of those nights. But in the 36th, 37th minute, Liverpool equalized. And they gave Eintracht Frankfurt a taste of their own medicine, so to speak, with our own version of counter-attack. And this was turning defense to attack in one move. Instead of lobbing the ball clear, Andrew Robertson put a through ball from deep within Liverpool's penalty area. He put a through ball to Hugo Ekitike, who was at the halfway line. A through ball to Ekitike, and Ekitike did all the rest. Solo run. A lot of fans and pundits said it was Thierry Henry-esque, and it's not hard to see why. I mean, after all, Ekitike is French, and he idolizes Thierry Henry. So for him to be able to take the ball from the halfway line, dribble, keep dribbling the ball, dribble past the defender, and then just finish it as cool as you like. What a goal. What a goal. And he showed respect to his former club by not celebrating. So there was no jeers, there was no booing of Ekitike as a result of that. Much respect to Ekitike. And then 4 minutes later, you want to talk about set piece, ole. And to be honest, we've suffered from set pieces. For some reason tonight, it was our turn to dish out the suffering from set pieces. First, it was Cody Gakpo from the corner, crossed the ball in from the corner kick, and Van Dijk, of all people, headed the ball in. Lovely header, jumped out with the appropriate height, the adequate height, and he just glanced the ball past the keeper into the net. Nothing the keeper could do about it. It was what a header. And if that wasn't enough, 4 minutes later, again it was a corner header combination. This time it was on the other side. Dominic Szoboszlai taking the corner, and instead of Van Dijk rising up to hit the ball in, it was Konate, but he didn't raise up. No, he bullet the header in. It was a bullet header off the corner from Szoboszlai. So by the time halftime reached, Liverpool were 3-1 up. When was the last time Liverpool scored 3 in the first half? And I've said this to some of my fellow Liverpool supporters in Singapore. If we get 3 goals, if we can score 3 goals, I think we're safe. Because every time we score 2 goals, it's not enough. Just go back to the Bournemouth game, our opening game. Go back to St. James's Park at against Newcastle. Every time we score 2 goals, we always concede. When we were 2-0 up, the opposition equalizes and we concede. Even the Merseyside derby, when we scored 2, it was 2-0, but Everton pulled 1 back. So to go into halftime 3-1, scoring 3 goals, it's a breather, but it was only halftime. So second half comes in, and the first thing that everyone noticed, Chiesa was substituted in because Isak apparently suffered a groin injury. He was complaining about his groin. So unfortunately, we couldn't see more of Isak Ekitike as a strike partnership. So with Chiesa going in, I think most likely, Arne Slot went back to his 4-2-3-1 with Jones and Szoboszlai as the double pivot, Cody Gakpo on the left, Chiesa on the right, Wirtz in the center, in the 10 row, obviously Ekitike in the 9 row. Speaking of Florian Wirtz, speaking of Cody Gakpo and Szoboszlai, let's talk about the 4th and 5th goal. Szoboszlai and Gakpo got their just rewards for assisting in the corners. And who was it that assisted both of them? None other than Florian Wirtz. Guten Tag, Mr. Florian Wirtz. Welcome to Liverpool. We're glad to have you here. Congratulations on your 2 assists. I think we can all say it's about time, but finally, you're no longer 007 or 010 or 00 whatever. Tonight, you have 2 assists. Add on to the one that you had in the Community Shield. Some people will count it, some people don't. I don't care. You have broken that 0 GA streak. Well done. And not only did you break that streak, you assisted the 2 players that assisted from the corners. So Cody, like I said, Cody Gakpo, or should I say Szoboszlai, triangulate the play. First he passed it to Wirtz, who was on the right, and Wirtz squared the ball for Cody Gakpo to tap in. That was in, I think, the 65th minute or something like that. I'm not sure. And then about 2 or 3 minutes later, Liverpool got the ball again. There's a ping pong pass here and there, and Wirtz kind of passed the ball, short pass, outside the penalty area for Szoboszlai, and this time Szoboszlai was gonna shoot from 25 yards outside the penalty area. Sure enough, it went in 5-1. The rest to say is history. It could have been, to be honest, it could have been 6-1 when Salah came in. Towards the end of the match, Salah being Salah, he wants to break his own duck, so to speak. You know, he wants to have an assist he wants to have a score. But he could have made it 6-1, not by scoring, but by squaring the ball to Florian Wirtz. And Wirtz would have had a perfect night, scoring and assisting. Some people are going to blame Salah for being selfish and whatnot. I can see why. But I'm not gonna get onto Salah too much about it. After all, he came in as a sub with McAllister, and by that time it was already 5-1. Although goals do matter in the Champions League phase, in the table phase, I think 5-1, all you had to do was just control the game, you know. And so I think it was okay not to make it 6-1, even as much as we want to, but 5-1, you know what, that's a great score. That's a rebound scoreline, if you will, especially after we lost 4 in a row. But there's going to be a few concerns moving forward. First, Jeremy Frimpong. The poor guy, he can't catch a break. He got injured again. That had to be replaced by Connor Bradley. Ah, boy. I feel for him. He can't catch a break. And with this victory, with the players playing the way they did tonight, or last night, sorry, it kind of makes you wonder moving forward with the Brentford game. What is the lineup going to be? What is the formation going to be? With Isak also an injury concern, is Arne Slot going to stay with this 4-4-2? Because if he doesn't, let's say if he goes back to 4-2-3-1, Gravenberch is not available, so most likely it'll be Curtis Jones and McAllister. And then how is the front four going to be? Will Florian Wirtz start or McAllister start? Because if McAllister starts, then it's going to be Jones and McAllister with Szoboszlai at 10. And then, of course, Gakpo, Salah, and Ekitike. And the Wirtz is going to be ending up on the bench. That's how I see it. If Slot goes back to 4-2-3-1. And it's going to be absolutely unfair for Florian Wirtz, especially with 2 assists. You know, coming off that momentum. He needs that momentum to establish himself as part of the starting 11, the regular 11. If you ask me, I think last night's 4-4-2 formation can work. But the only way for it to work would be Curtis Jones starting. I think Szoboszlai also starts, obviously. He's our engine. He's our best player so far this season. I think he starts. But the left and right wing, I think, here's what I'm thinking. I think Gakpo and Salah can play the left and right wings, because the front two partnership, I'm thinking of Ekitike and Wirtz, or Ekitike and Chiesa. If it's Ekitike and Wirtz, I think the more likely strike duo for Brentford will be Ekitike and Wirtz. So Salah will be on the right wing, Gakpo on the left wing, double pivot for Szoboszlai and Jones. The front two, Wirtz and Ekitike, but maybe Florian Wirtz pulls back a little bit. So he plays like a shadow striker, if you will, not necessarily a number 10. So he'll be like a shadow striker to Ekitike. And then, of course, in terms of the back four, Konate, Van Dijk, who by the way had great nights and kind of redeemed themselves. But obviously Bradley is going to be on a right back. The left back is going to be the tricky one. Should we continue with Robertson? What do you think? Should we leave a comment? Should we continue with Robertson, or does Milos Kerkez takes the spot back against Brentford this weekend? But that's for the future. That's for the weekend match against Brentford away. For now, I think this match is the biggest, the most resounding rebound statement win that Liverpool can and have produced this season. When you look at the goals that was scored by Liverpool last night, a one-on-one set piece, squaring the ball across the penalty box, and long range. Almost any type of goal you can think of, any type of common goals you can think of, Liverpool scored those normal type of goals. And this is the first time, maybe since the Merseyside derby. No, sorry, I take that back. It's the first time all season that Liverpool controlled the game, dominated the game. Maybe not through 90 minutes. I'll never say through 90 minutes because that did not happen. But to talk about showing dominance and showing character and bouncing back from conceding first, finally we have a Liverpool identity. Finally this season we have Liverpool's identity. So hopefully we carry that on against Brentford. We need that momentum. We need that momentum because especially after, I'm not trying to look forward too quickly, but after the game against Brentford at the weekend, in midweek, it's Crystal Palace in the League Cup 4th round, albeit at Anfield, but we need this momentum going forward. So let's go Liverpool, up the Reds, and big ups to all of you viewers out there. As always, like, comment, share, subscribe. Once again, thank you to all those to the people who contributed to the first milestone. I've already got 10 subscribers. Actually, I've gone up to 11. Thank you. I hope you continue to support my channel, so that I can provide more types of content for all of you. But for now, until then, thank you. Up the Reds. Let's go to Brentford. Let's get a win. I'll see you in the next video.